frame.
Alright, how's my hair? My hair look decent? I've been in the pool.
You've been in the pool? You went in the pool?
No, I've not been in the pool.
I thought you went in the pool.
No,
Why not?
because I don't want to do that. I got a retirement thing to go to tonight.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's cake day.
It's cake day.
It's cake day.
Oh, Miss Mc. So what's your name, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Ann McManus.
All right, and what do you do here? What do you do here?
What do I do here? I hang out with teenagers, try to get them to paint and draw. So I'm the drawing and painting teacher, formerly the AP teacher. I've been here for a long time. I have been at Mountain View since the fall of 2001. I student taught at Walt Clark, Truscott, and Garfield in the fall of 1989. So that makes me like 100.
Why'd you become a teacher? Why'd you be?
Why did I become a teacher? Oh, well, I'm not a good housewife. It pretty much was awful being a stay-at-home mom. No, I had an art degree, so I got an art degree from Illinois State, and then I moved out west here to be with a boy, and I'm still with my guy, and we'll be together. We've been together 40 years now. And so I got an art degree from Illinois State, and then I moved out here, and I had Mikey and Mel, and then I realized that being a housewife was awful and terrible and the worst, and the boringest job ever, even though my kids are cute. And so I went back and got my teaching certificate. I was a better working mom than I was a stay-at-home mom. So yeah, and I'm a painter.
Has there ever been a standout moment, or something that stood out in your teaching career?
Well, here at Mountain View?
Anywhere.
Anywhere? Well, one of my favorite Mountain View memories is from, I think it was the first year that I was here, and we had a science teacher who did a duckathlon. And so because Mountain View only had like maybe 400 kids, every biology student got a freshly hatched duckling, and they had to imprint it. And so all down the hallway you had these little ducklings that were following kids, and then there'd be like a duck tragic, oh, I rolled over on my duck. So there were some duck tragedies. And then they had a duckathlon at the end on the... I know, isn't it great? It's great. Then we had a duckathlon, and the ducks had to like chase their owners down the track. It was the best. And then my daughter talked me into getting taking one of the ducks home as a house pet, and it was named Ducky. And Ducky lived in the bathtub every evening. Ducks don't make good house pets. Ducky didn't last very long. And ducks deflate.
Ducks
when they die.
deflate?
When they die.
Like a balloon?
Like a balloon. I'm like, oh, poor Ducky. But that's okay. He went to the pet hotel. Well, actually, Ducky went up to Steamboat, and we had a pet cemetery in Steamboat. But one of my other favorite teaching moments is the best. Okay, I was teaching at Con Ball. I was like, maybe... I was teaching 7th grade art, and one of my friends, Miss Bittner, who's since retired, gave me a rat to foster. Someone gave her a rat, so she was always giving me pets. So we named her Georgia O'Rat. And my 7th graders made a 3-story condo. And during the day, Georgia O'Rat lived in the condo, and we'd steal papers from our desk. But the best thing was we had tables in a big, huge rectangle, and I taught the 7th graders. Georgia O'Rat went up one arm, and then down around the next kid, down the other arm, and then all the way across the class. It was the best. It was the best.
So you've been teaching for a while now.
35 years.
What do you think the best part is of being a teacher?
I think the best part of being a teacher is my students are really interesting humans. And I love to hear their stories, learn about their stories, because teenagers have a lot to say, and I don't think adults give them a lot of time to say what they need to say. But I just think my students are really interesting, and they're much more capable than what they give themselves credit for. So my job is to see into the future. My job is to see a student's potential. And that's my job. Because I can see what they could be capable of. And because I don't have a biased view of them, then I can help them do that. And the other thing too is I try to, I've always tried to approach teaching when I meet a new student that their mama sees something really special in them, and that I try to see that same thing that their moms see in them, and love them as much as their moms do, and yell at them like their mom too.
So, do you have any advice you might have picked up along your 35 years that you might want to pass down to people who want to become educators or future teachers?
It's a hard job, but it's a super rewarding job. Kids need love. They need a lot of love. And so if you're willing to love strangers kids, and you're willing to learn, because teaching is an art form. It's really like almost like a performance art in some respects. You develop a teacher persona. You just got to be willing to be open-minded and know that the brain is really complex and that there's a lot to learn about teaching, and you never, ever, ever know everything. It's also really funny, because kids are really funny. Yes.
So, 35 years, you're retiring now.
I am.
Congratulations.
It's cake day today.
Oh, yippee.
Yay, the district is giving me free cake.
What kind of cake?
I don't know. I'm taking the piece in the middle, though, because
Yes.
I can.
I respect that. I do that too.
I love that one right there. So I call it free cake day.
So, what do you plan to do with your retirement?
Well, I currently have a show with some other art teachers at the Loveland Museum. So I'm a painter. I was trained as a painter. My whole goal was to grow up and be the next Georgia O'Keeffe or better. So I'm just going to simply switch lanes and work in my studio full time. I might do some coaching of young teachers if the opportunity presents itself. I might teach adults, although they're kind of cranky to teach, so I don't know. I might do smaller classes, maybe through Parks and Rec or the Loveland Museum, and maybe teach 8 kids as opposed to 80 kids or 150 kids. This is a young man's game, and I'm old. It's time for me to go. The best thing I can teach my kids is that if you don't keep your dreams alive, nobody else will. So I'm going to go live my dream of being a full-time painter. And I think that's the best legacy that I can leave my kids, is I'm going to keep my dream alive. But I still love my job. I have the best job in the world. I get to teach art, and I love art because I'm an artist. I get to meet really interesting people every day, teachers and kids. And after 35 years, I can say I'm walking out the door and still loving my job. And I would teach forever if I wasn't 100 already.
When did you decide you wanted to be an artist? Like, what got you into art and creating?
Well, hard to believe, but I am actually an introvert. I had to learn how to be an extrovert. I gave birth to an extroverted daughter. I'm like, what do I do? What was the question? My brain's so full.
When
did I want to become an artist?
Yeah, what got you into it?
I just one of my very first memories is just like laying on the floor coloring. And when you're really quiet and shy and you get cut from like every single sport you ever tried out for, like literally in high school, I tried out for everything and they sent me home every time. And so making art for me has been something that I've always done since I was really little. And when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to be a painter. And I took private art lessons all through high school. And I just have always just loved to paint. Like, that's my happy space. Like, I could be in the studio for hours because your brain is such a wonderful intellectual playground. And I never run out of ideas, ever, 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 ever. So it's just part of who I am. It's how I'm wired. Because apparently I'm not an athlete. Yeah, it was great. I'll never forget the words of the head coach. And she said to me, I really feel bad that I have to cut you from every team. And I'm like, well, you could just put me on a team. I will be a bench warmer. She's like, no. I'll be at my private art lessons now, getting some validation. Yeah, that's what I got.
That's fair. And then, so I take it there's probably some artists that you pull inspiration from or admire. What might some of them be?
Let's see. I love Georgia O'Keeffe, American painter. I love Edward Hopper, American painter. Winslow Homer, his natural stuff is really great. Actually, someone whose painting I really love is Mr. Thyssen. He does these wonderful cityscapes, and he retired last year, and he's a super sweet painter. I really love watching his, I really love looking at his stuff. And this house is like this big gallery. So it's pretty cool. About those guys. Them guys. That's all I got.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Oh, I want to say one other thing. Teaching is an honor and a privilege. To be invited into someone's brain space is really a privilege. And so the biggest thing is I want to thank all of my students, all of my families. Thank you for a wonderful opportunity to learn. It's been a blast. It's been so much fun. It's just been a really wonderful opportunity, and I've met really cool people. And I'm going to go paint now in the garden and hang out with my 4 grandsons, because we're building a pumpkin patch with 100 Big Max pumpkins, 100-pound pumpkins this year. Yeah. Oh, and one more last thing. Never lose the curiosity that you had as a kid, because that's what drives your passions. The end. There you go. That's what I got.
One more time.
Okay.
Okay. We got
My hands
bye.
kind of hurt after that.
You wanna fill up on this brush?
Yeah, it's soft. Oh, yeah.
Why is it so soft?
I'm rearranging the paint.
They'll figure out their
I would assume so.
All right.
I don't
Oh,
know
nice
why
hand.
Conky's back
I like
there.
the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I like
Yeah.
the hands. You
Is it
should
alright
put,
if you shut the
do I
door?
get the skeleton right next to me?
You could.
could.
Just can you crack it
Yeah,
so
I
I
can
can
crack it.
hear if anyone screams in my class?
Wait, what?
Mm.
Just.
We just took it off the stand is all.
Oh. The way this works.
Are we bringing the whole skeleton?
You can just put it right
I
there.
think we should.
Well, if you give me the hand, you should at least give me the other part of this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, loves. Here, we'll just put him right here.
Hey, be careful with Hank.
How do you know his name's not Fred?
I killed him.
I killed Frank.
You killed Frank?
I killed Frank.
Not again.
Not
Just a
again.
long time
I
ago.
like Frank.
All right, how's my hair? What? Kids don't have filters? What are you talking about? Sometimes teachers don't have filters.
So we have a question submitted by somebody who will not be named,
Okay.
but this is a submission.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what this is either, so I'm actually curious about the answer. What is a Caldecott book?
Oh, you guys don't know that. I should be slapped. A Caldecott book, I want to say around 1928, 1932. Right in that, there was an illustrator named Caldecott. And he was an illustrator, and he did lots of different publications and things like that. And he died young, and so because he was a writer and an illustrator, they started this award called the Caldecott Award. And every year, children's books are awarded the Caldecott Award for the best illustrated new children's book. Every year since like 1928. So one of my life goals is to own every single Caldecott book.
So then there's a follow-up question.
Yes.
Are there any you'd purchase if you had, let's see, $1 bajillion?
Repeat the question, please.
Which ones would you want?
What, of the Caldecott book?
Yeah!
Flotsom's pretty good. There's some really interesting new ones that just came out in 2024 that are really about cultural awareness, which are really cool. Any book, it doesn't matter, because the illustrations are all amazing. I mean, they're just, like, books you would be familiar with would be like Jumanji. Okay, before it was a movie, it was a book.
I've read the book.
Yeah, and the book is illustrated by Chris Van Allsburg, who's a printmaker. So there's just like really great books. I mean, I got like, I don't know, a century worth. I got choices. But that's the only kind of books I buy my grandkids is Caldecott books. How'd I do?
Good.
Hey, Aiden, how many people have we interviewed this year?
Like 15 probably.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably the best
That was
one.
probably one of the better
was
ones,
probably
yeah.
the best interview ever. That was
Pretty good.
Best
was
interview
good.
ever! Cut! But I love the fact that you have me in my supply room.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. McManus.
That's great. You guys are great. But truly, I have had the best run.